Hi, folks. Welcome back in. Seven Rivers Racing here in KQEG TV 23. I'm Dan Dyker along with Al Losi, fresh off the racetrack and a very busy weekend for myself. I'm not wearing makeup. That is my tan. I spent so much time outdoors umping and racing and coaching last weekend that I have a nice glow to me today.
Yeah, we'll say that you have a nice glow.
Looking at what happened around the area last weekend, a lot of exciting racing. Mother Nature, boy, she was threatening all over the place. But I think Western Wisconsin, I know Marshfield canceled, but I think everybody, I had go-karts Friday night. Mississippi Thunder ran Friday night, Lacrosse ran, and the Dells, they were chomping at the bit to get it in, and they got the program in as well.
I was wondering if they were, but I know that they run a good program. They get things rolling, and I was pretty sure that they got theirs in too.
Well, we're going to start things off with results from Mississippi Thunder. That's MississippiThunder.com, the Speedway up in Fountain City. 7 features last weekend. They got them all in. Looking at the 600 modifieds, feature winner was from Caledonia, Minnesota. Started third, finished first, John Griffin. The A Mini Mods feature went to Mike Stevens. Started on the pole, went pole to pole out of Winona, Minnesota. The B Mini Modified feature went to Keegan Eink out of Decorah, Iowa. And this was kind of interesting. The Modifieds feature was won by Bob Tim out of Winona. Started second, finished first. You're in a race where you've got about 20 cars behind you trying to beat the track owner. What do you do?
I suppose you do just make sure you don't take them out.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, Bob is a great guy. He's got a great sense of humor, and I'm sure, he would say, well, it's racing, but, when you go to the pay window, he may be shaking an envelope at you like somebody does that yellow flag.
Of course, knowing Bob, he's probably a little tougher on himself, though, too. He probably lets people get away with a little more when they're racing him.
The street stock feature went to last year's national champ and 3-in-a-row time track champ Danny Hansen. Started 8th, finished first. He comes out of Alma, Wisconsin. The last 2 super stock went to Shane Kisling out of Sorona, Wisconsin. Started on the pole and won that race. And the USRA B Mods went to Ben Anderson of Winona. Started 4th, finished first. So looks like Danny Hansen started on the outside of Rule 4, worked his way up. Everybody else won from the pole.
That's a strong run if you can win at that track from that far back.
Yeah, that's tough, especially now that that's a 4-corner track. A lot of these drivers that have been there in the past had to reteach themselves how to drive because they were a tri-oval, and it's totally different. You're going to a tri-oval to a 4-corner track. Yeah,
being a veteran out there, it is different, and they've got to set their cars up completely different, throw all of their notes out the window when they restart doing that.
Again, MississippiThunderSpeedway.com for more information on Friday night dirt track racing. Down to our friends at the Dells Raceway Park. They had their Live for 5 series race number 3. We talked about Dalton Zier a couple of weeks ago on the program. Comes up from Florida, and he's captured his 2nd race in the Live for 5 Super Late Model Series.
Yeah, coming that far, you know that he's going to be very serious, and it just goes to show how good the racing is up here. Lacrosse has people coming from down south, and the Dells now are getting people from down south.
And they're winning some races. That was race number 3 for the 5 at Wisconsin Dells. That's DellsRacewayPark.com. Scott Luck won the 25-lap Sportsman feature event. That's his 2nd win on the season. Jeff Burrows won the 20-lap Pure Stock event, and the 18-lap Bandit race went to Steve Rozek. So, again, not a rainout for the Dells, and a lot of kids' activities they've got. They've got a really strong kids program.
They do, and it's kind of nice that all the tracks in the area include the kids. They had the penny deal out there at the Crosse Fairgrounds Speedway, and that is your next generation of drivers.
Right, that and those ones that are at the Cooley Go-Kart Raceway. Our guest today in the program, matter of fact, did some laps at the go-kart track. We're going to bring him in here later on. Crosse Fairgrounds Speedway, the racing again was exciting. He had to take a week off 2 weeks ago. Steve Carlson had a bad nerve in his back, which obviously as a driver, you're not crawling into any kind of an apparatus.
No, you're getting thrown around in the seat, and those cars look smooth on the track, but there's a lot of hard banging and things like that just because you don't have the shocks system that your normal family car has. And your teeth are getting rattled all the time around the track.
Well, Carlson came back, won the feature event, as you see right there. It was your quick time qualifier, 20.064 seconds. Cole Howland took 2nd, Todd Korish 3rd, Brad Powell 4th, Adam Degenhardt 5th. Degenhardt has been very surprising every time he has shown up this year. Cole Howland has been very, very consistent and getting faster. He is one I would guarantee is probably going to pick up a feature win before the season's done. But the big news in this one was Todd Korish. Korish finishing 3rd, Herbst and Paff didn't even play into the feature that night. And now on the points, Jay Herbst leads Todd Korish by 8 and Sean Paff by 22. So a little bit of flip-flopping with those three drivers over the past couple of weeks.
And this goes to show you that when you are involved in a crash, no matter how light it is, if you get sent to the back, you cannot pass very many people at the Crosse Fairgrounds Speedway because the quality of competition is so great. If you get sent back to 24th, even with 20 laps to go, it's hard to get into the top 15,
right.
And it's a big loss in points.
Well, we're going to show you some video here. The big crash last weekend, it collected Matt Henderson. That may have done him in for the points chase this season. A lot of racing still left. You see Matt go around. Not sure exactly how much contact was actually made between Jay Herbst and Matt Henderson. And we're going to slow this down here and just show you a couple of things right here. And I'll kind of have you walk us through. And our guest, will ask him later on as well. Better shot right here. Mike Carlson leads the race. Herbst and Henderson have a little bit of contact right there. Henderson goes around. And because of all that smoke, Sean Paff drives right into the smoke, doesn't see the 33 until now. Collects damage, serious damage to both cars. You see everybody else trying to get out of the way in that one. Jeff Baker ended up ruining his front end. You see Todd Oliver there in the 12T car, a little bit of damage as well. And it's one of those kind of situations. I've heard like 6 different scenarios. So-and-so drove down into somebody. There wasn't enough track space. So-and-so wasn't keeping their line. So-and-so was riding too high. And as you watch the replay right there, it's just a couple of different synopsises you can get going through your head.
Oh, and you're exactly right. And the human element in all of us wants to come up with an excuse for what happens. Sometimes accidents happen. From what I saw, it looked like they were both taking different lines coming off the straightaway. So one had a little more of an angle on the outside. One was almost catching the car and was moving up, so they were going into the corner at different angles.
Right.
So they really weren't side by side until they made even a little bit of contact going in there that strong. You're going to end up going sideways.
Well, again, the points chase is kind of different a little bit now as we head into this weekend's races. Jay Herbst leads Todd Korish by 8. Sean Paff drops back 22 points off the pace. Brent Kirchner was sent to the back in that feature race, did pick his way up. Still 66 back with a lot of racing to go. Brent could still see an outside bubble chance of taking home the championship. And Matt Henderson drops back to a solid 5th place. When we come back after the short break, we're going to check out what happened with the Sportsman Thunder Stocks and the Outlaws. Johnny Olson did it again on bad tires. Also our guest in the program, North Country Contractor Sportsman driver, the number 14, Steve Bachman. All that coming up next on the Seven Rivers Racing Show here on KQEG TV.